Hi guys, it's Uga and welcome back to another video. Today let's talk about 5 manga that I read recently that I want to talk about them with you. So, I was in this mood like this week. I want to read some manga, some graphic novels. And although I have my Sailor Moon, I want to do an in-deep review of that. And I was like, oh, I need something, try to see someone. And then I went to NetGalley and Kodansha Comics post like 5 volume 1 mangas, and I was like, yeah, I will request them all and see if I like them or not. Just first volume, no expectations what they were about, just go with the flow. Because I was like, they're not gonna accept me to the 5 of them. They accept me to the 5 of them. So let's talk about 5 mangas that I've read and I need to talk about you. Okay, so first disclaimer, I will not remember the name of the characters because I just read the first volume and I'm terrible with names. So I'll explain a little bit of the plot, but don't expect names, and it's a summarize and what I felt about them, okay? So let's start with the first one that I've read, and it's that Reincarnated-as-a-Virus story, and it's by Kalakuyuki and Pirota. So, and this one is fantasy inspired, where a person, this we know a little bit later, a man, gets reincarnated in this fantasy world as a virus, and has to survive as a virus. And in the beginning he infects a rat, and he understands how the things work, that he can move through all the particles of the virus, he's conscious on it. And we see there is a goddess playing a little bit, and how he gains abilities, how he mutates, how he can activate people to get like sick, because he infected this type of creatures, and they're like, oh, you are tired, and he gets tired. This is very fantastical, very like not traditional science, and even the author says that he starts writing this around 2018 2019. He decided to publish the book is as a book, and then COVID happened, so this is not to mock COVID or nothing like that, and it's just fantasy. We know that biological a virus doesn't spread in questions of minutes, and you don't take control of your mind, but it's just fantasy, and it was fun because one of the things I thought weird was the main character is like, I got reincarnated in a virus. I don't remember how I reached here, but let's conquer the world. Let's create a great virus. Very anti-hero. I was like, what the hell? Like, do you even question? And he even worked as someone trying to kill virus in a lab. So I was like, okay, that's a change of scenario that maybe some sort of like, I don't know, like I don't want to die and reincarnate in something else, but it's like to decide that you want to affect all the world. But it's very funny. I like the animations. I like the animations or the draws. I think it were very fun. The way that we see them, they are like they are invaded by this virus, and the way he controls with these big eyes, it's very funny. And yeah, it's just the first volume. It has what I'm opening it. My file has 163 pages, so I read it very easily. A lot of creatures, some comedy, some interesting aspects. I think I will probably continue because it sounds interesting concept. You wake up as a virus. What would you feel if we wake up like as a virus? Like, what will be your story? And I think that was very interesting. And yeah, the second one that I've read was Lovesick Ellie, and I think this is an older one. It's about this girl who is, I think, in high school, and he has a crush on this boy. He's very popular, very handsome, and she has this tweet account fake that she published like more steamy, or these encounters with this boy that they are boyfriends and girlfriends, and by accident he discovers her phone, and we end up seeing that he's a jerk, but he called her a pervert, but we see there's some spark of him liking her. So we see the story of this girl who doesn't, and also she's very outcast. No one remembers her. No one remembers her name even. So she's very invisible until she found out this girl, because one of the professors, which is the boy's uncle asked to this girl to write a review of a book because the nephew said she writes very well because of the tweets. So she writes the review of a book focused on the sex scenes. And this girl, who is very mind of herself, very pretty, but she doesn't know how to talk to boys, who likes to sew, found it interesting that she focused on that and befriends her. And she was like, but you are like a prettiest girl, and we're like, but we are both weird, so let's be friends. And it was so genuine and so cool. And I was like, oh my god, because I was like, because at first I was like, she's just trying to get her to talk with the handsome boy, because, you know, the handsome boy, she saw our main protagonist talking to the handsome boy, but no, she wants really to be her friend. And it's so funny because I was like, oh my god. And then at the end they start like, he addressed that he feels different with her, and she's like, and he's like, when I'm with you, I'm happy, I don't feel sad. I know he doesn't know how to express, because when he's with Underwells, he has this multiple persona, like even with boys and girls, that he's magnetic, that he's cute, that he's charming, that he's like, I don't know, so pretty, love everyone, and then he's kind of cranky, but at the same time he worries about her. And now in the end they went to this festival, and then she got lost and she got worried. Then he checks the Twitter and they follow each other again, and he's like, when he asked her if she's ready, it's not her ready to date him, it's because he is very problematic, and if she's ready to date someone who's very grumpy. I thought it was a very good construction, although in the beginning I thought it would be like a jerk, and I'll be like, why don't make this toxic, please? You have to have reasons, and I think we're gonna get those reasons in the next. Now they lost the buzz, so I don't know how they go in this, but they lost the buzz and they have to stay in the hotel together. Gonna have some smut? I don't know, but you know, like, she's very steamy, she likes steamy stuff, so it's very interesting it was very interesting. The designs are very pretty, very simple, and she contrasts very much because all of them have blonde or light hair and she's dark hair, so I think it contrasts very well with the story. The way they all interact, you know, how he's embarrassed with her, but he also likes the way she's a pervert. I don't know, I thought it was cute. In the beginning I was a little bit skeptical about the romance, but I believe that he will have redeemed qualities, and we have something that why he's such a jerk to her, or why he's not so perfect as all think. Let's move to another one, and this one was also a fantasy, and this was Her Majesty Swarm. And this is a fantasy about this girl who gets sucked into this fantasy world that she believes is part of a video game she's playing. So a more MMO type of game, that she has like 18 fractions, and she usually goes by Bug Lady, but it's like because she was one of the best in the Swarm, which is this spider scorpion creatures that she controlled. And when she arrives, they say like, you have to be our queen. And the way the mind works is that since they are insects, they will work in a hive mind, so all minds are connected and connect to the queen. And you know, when an individual dies, they don't mourn because he's part of the hive, and although the body left, his mind is on the hive. So very interesting, very gore, so trigger warning for gore because it's very goresome scenes, very action, because the creatures are very deadly and very scary. I think it's going to be a very dark scene because she believes she's on the game, but she also learns that then she's not in the game. She also wants to go back to Japan, but she starts losing her mind and losing her identity because of the hive mind. And some questions, sometimes she's like, did I do this, or did I was influenced by the hive mind? So, and that's what's very interesting. There's also some part in the end that we can see how human she is comparing to the hive mind. I think it was the traits are beautifully done. I think for the storytelling doesn't have anything more. It's just a setup for the creatures, what they do, what they're gonna play. You know, how she is in mind, how she starts losing herself in this hive mind. I thought it was very interesting. Let's see, because I don't know where the story goes by now, because it ends on a very a very intriguing thing that we know gonna be brutal, but I don't know where the long story goes and how she's gonna adapt it, but it sounded really interesting. Attention again to gore. Then this one is more cute and is the lines that define me. This one is about this boy who is working in a part-time to prepare an exposition for brush painting, and then he met this old man who starts talking to him, asking him to eat him one of the bento box, and then he starts walking with him through the exposition and sees that he has some defining characteristics, that he can see through the paintings in a way that he can see the expressions. And we come to understand that the old man is a very famous brush painter and he wants to take this boy as his apprentice. So he decides to go, and he has a granddaughter who is also been learning from young age, but she's very, like, not say cruel, but the way he described when he saw her painting, and we see it's her paint, she's very sharp, she's very feminine but very cool, you know, and we see this rivalry because she's like, she wants the acceptance of everyone, but especially from her grandfather. And now the grandfather has a pupil, and now he says that the pupil gonna win a greatest prize for paintbrushing that she lost, and she's like, no, I'm gonna be one. But then they also start bonding a little bit through this love for brushing painting, for this painting style, how she understands a little bit of her story. This ends up with he revealing that he's orphan, that is the first time after he met his grandfather and her and the others that he connected. He has a family and he's happy because one of the painters that we see also said that the paintings feel very much sad. So I think it's going to be a very interesting story. I like the way they explain how to hold the brush and how to make the draw, how to make the painting. I love the grandpa is a little bit like, do it again, and then he fall asleep. I thought it was very funny. The draws are very beautiful, very artistic in the way that she paints roses, he paints orchids, so very traditional, I believe. I don't know, I really enjoy as a whole. I don't know, it's a little bit more complex, the design, than, for example, Lovesick Ellie, which is more high school and more simple, but this one is a bit more mature and more complex in terms of coloring and draw than the other. Even I think from Queen of the Swarm it's a little bit more complex, but I don't know, I think it's going to be an impact story, because by the time that we are now, we don't have a lot of backstories and a lot of dynamics, but for the first volume I think it connects so much and lead to a point that we want to read more, because we want to know how he's going to end, how it's end up like that, how does he feels. The last one was the last one that I've read, and is My Idol Seeks the Next Decks Over, and this is a very funny story. So we have our main character who is very quirky, and she loves this idol band, and one of the girls from the idol band start high school in the same school that she does, and she's in the same class, and she sits over her, but no one in the class recognizes her except her, because she's a fan, and she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna be with. But then the idol, she's very fun, she's very like friendly, and she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna make, and then she blows up that she's a fan, and she's like, oh my god, I'm happy, but let's be friends, and she tries to understand that she's friends. There is another character who is very problematic, she's very obsession, and there is a stalking obsession that is like threatening our main character, almost like evil, because she doesn't want the other to know she's a fan, but she's very obsessive, while our main character already is known to be a fan of this girl, and she starts now having, the last one is a concert, and it's their relationship, because the idol wants to be a normal girl, because in her last school everyone knew she was a part of this idol group, and she started to lose friends because they will always want something connecting to the industry, photos and autographs, you know, and she wants to be normal. And although this girl is a fan, she wants also to have a friend like her. So it was very interesting. I love the drawing. I was really pissed with the psychopath, like, oh my god, this is such a stalker. Let's see how this goes, because I'm really excited because the way it ended on a cheerful tone, because the idol's gonna now connect a new album, and she was in this performance and she screams the girl's name, and the idol reach to her. Like, we see that the friendship is bound, so it was very cool. Let's see how it is with the stalker. And yeah, these were the 5 mangas that I've read like in 2 days. I was obsessed, and I want to read more manga this year, definitely. So leave your recommendations below, so I can check them and read more. And maybe I should do a series like this. I read 5 mangas and I review the 5 mangas together. Probably like that, because I don't know, it was so good, so fast. I love it. The ones that I love the most, let me think. I think the virus one is funny. I love this of the idol. The Queen of the Swarm is gore, so let's see. Lovesick Ellie is fine. I think the paintbrush is the one that I like it the least, but it's also very interesting. If you like the content, please subscribe, comment, like, you know the drill, to help the algorithm and to reach me the 500 subscribers soon, okay? Nice. If you want to also support me, I have affiliate links below for some shops that will help me for some shops, and also I have a Ko-fi, which is another way you can support me. For now, the goal is for the Wheel of Time books. I also have a Amazon wish list if you want to send me something there. Yeah, I post videos every Tuesday, Thursdays and Sundays, and around 6 p.m. GMT, and I have live reading streams at 9 p.m. GMT if you want to join, and I see you guys in my next video. Bye!